Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. We're back in the abandoned mansion where we did Woljif's quests, making a small detour. Because I went to the west and dimension doored over here, grabbed that knife, read the description, and when I looked at the map to see if I could even do that, I saw this path here, and then afterwards I forgot to take it. The stone slab is inscribed with small Sarkorian runes. The plaque reads, "Cursed be the demons that destroyed eyes. Cursed be Arilu Vorlesh who opened the way for them. And a curse upon you, the demon reading my last words." The statue of a mummified Merilith is embellished with intricate details. She almost looks like she is about to move. A fine statue of exquisite workmanship, worthy of decorating the courtyard of a king's castle. A sinister skull, carefully polished and displayed like a work of art. The plaque reads, "He did not escape the ineluctable prison, but his skull did." Is it ineluctable or ineluctable? It's ineluctable. It means to be avoided or
I know the way.
inescapable or something like that. The plaque reads, "On the memorial of the Reapers, touch me to read my tale." Oh. The writing on the plaque changes. "On the last king of the Reapers, we were the offspring of the gods. We were granted power over life and death. We maintain balance in the universe. At the zenith of our power, we rose higher than all others. We gazed down upon creation. We were untouchable." He's told me to touch you. "But the other races united in opposition to our purpose. They attacked from all sides, and slaughtered us until none was left. As the day rises and the night falls, we all will move forward to meet our end. I, the memory of the last Reaper King, chained inside this memorial, bear witness to this truth." Now I'm clicking everything more than once. I only clicked on that one more than once because it told me to touch it. Okay.
You called? I sensed something. I finished here. Is there more?
Follow my lead.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
Alright, so it seems like this whole side may have been a red herring. Oh wait. There's more. It doesn't stop. Oh, everybody go back, please.
Struggles never cease. I sense something. I finished here. Is there more? I finished here. Is there more? I'm glad I was useful to you.
Wandering con man. This cloth grants the wearer a +10 competence bonus to trickery and a +10 competence bonus to athletic skill checks, as well as +2 bonus to attack rolls for attacks of opportunity. That's not going to work. Is that anyone in my party that uses athletics and trickery? I think Greybor might be on that path. Or he could be. Maybe Woljif? I don't think he has athletics, though. I think it's mobility. Oh, it could be athletics, I don't remember. Because as a rogue, he gets a ton of skill points. And he has a high intelligence score. What that shirt be really good for are these boots I have equipped. Adds their rank and athletic skill as a bonus to the damage roll and a successful charge attack. That is crazy. If mobility wasn't so good for mounted combat, with that chance to just negate damage. I mean, even then I still have 14 in athletics. I'm still getting 14 extra damage.
I know the way.
But I could have about 40 extra damage.
Follow my lead.
The lock is familiar. These locks are used by monster traders from Katapesh who want to ensure the most powerful beasts stay in their cages. It can't be forced. One delicate twist of a knife and done. A hunt is a clash between... Oh, that's when to start talking. But the, I think that Vrolikai was growling at us. A hunt is a clash between the hunter's cunning and the shrewdness of the prey. When the prey expects a trap, the hunter's acumen is put to the test in trying to subvert such expectations. Willodus has proven he understands this fundamental principle. The commander bursts through the front door and freezes. For all the tales about the mansion supposedly becoming a citadel, no one is there to assault the unwanted guests. There are no flying arrows, no chilling battle cries, and the expensive furniture hasn't been turned into makeshift barricades. The commander and his companions carefully examine the luxurious antechamber. There are two doors leading deeper into the mansion. One bears a symbol of a mirror, and the other, a symbol of a knife. There's a bloody pigeon feather in front of the doors, a note that contains two words: "Welcome, assassin." The commander recalls that the bloody feather is a symbol of Shax, the Blood Marquis. This demon lord is infamous for luring his victims into labyrinths full of deadly traps. The door slams shut loudly behind him. The commander opens the door with the knife symbol. They say that pets reflect the character and disposition of their owners. If this is true, then the lord of the mansion has a truly cruel and perverse disposition. The commander enters a spacious cellar, filled with scattered bones and cages. All of them are wide open, and the creatures they once contained are freely roaming the room. They've all come from different planes. Some are monsters, some are mere animals, some are intelligent species. Yet all of them shamble around aimlessly. They pant loudly, and drool drips from their slack jaws and open mouths. Their horribly mutilated and scarred heads provide evidence as to the reason for this behavior. A merciless surgeon has opened their skulls and taken out most of their brains, leaving only the bits that govern the most base instincts, such as hunger. And these creatures are very hungry indeed. The commander decides. If they're all just random creatures and they're hungry like that, would they not attack each other? I assume there's some sort of magic involved. "53 Intimidate, jeez. To scare away the monsters. Don Quixote bursts out of the shadows with a spectacular leap and lands in the center of the room, where he draws his weapon and quickly puts several of the closest monsters out of their misery. He produces such a wild and bloodthirsty howl that even these mindless wretches are shaken to their core. Squealing pathetically, they hurry back into their cages, huddling in fear. The way is now free. 3 doors lead from this dark cellar, and its oppressive stink of blood and decay. The commander decisively reaches out for the one marked with the symbol of a tooth-filled maw. Everyone makes mistakes. The difference between an amateur and an expert is simply that the expert knows how to hide those mistakes in some deep, dark hole. It seems the commander has found the place where the lord of this mansion hides his mistakes. The walls of this room are splattered with blood up to the ceiling, and the floor is shaped like a funnel. There's a stand for steel poles with bloody hooks at their ends. Gravediggers use such tools to drag dead plague victims onto their corpse carts. With a sudden click, the stone floor turns to ice, causing the commander to slip and slide down toward the giant gap in the center of the room, where it is now possible to discern a maw. It is a giant round mouth with hundreds of long, sharp teeth, a massive throat, and the staggeringly foul odor of hundreds and hundreds of decaying corpses. This maw is a gigantic corpse eater, which gorges itself on the results of failed and unsuccessful experiments. The commander decides to fight the monster, looking for its most vulnerable spot. Don Quixote narrows his eyes and jumps straight toward the gaping maw of the beast. What at first seems to be a suicidal act turns out to be a flawlessly calculated attack. Don Quixote delivers a deadly blow to the creature's inner organs, causing something inside to burst with a loud squelch. With a chilling shriek, the monster dies, and its frightful jaws stop moving forever. Something glimmers faintly within the fallen beast, catching the commander's eye. The crusader who's brave enough to delve inside the carnivorous monster is rewarded with a trinket that must have belonged to one of its victims. Apparently, the trinket was too durable to be chewed up and digested within the monster's putrid stomach. 3 doors with different symbols lead from the monster's lair. Upon reflection, the commander decides to open the one bearing the symbol of a full moon. The commander enters a magnificent bedroom and ends up knee-deep in a seemingly bottomless pile of soft blankets, fuzzy rugs, plump feather beds, and other covers of all sorts and shapes. They allure and promise the sweetest dreams, if only Don Quixote would lie down and close his eyes. It's a dangerous temptation. Anyone who allows these fluffy killers to put them to sleep won't wake up ever again. They will crawl over their victim, piling up around them, and then suffocate and smother them to death. Carving through a feather bed with his blade, the commander sees glistening flesh. A thick ichor oozes out from the rend in the fabric. Yet, no book has ever mentioned such strange, bizarre creatures. The commander can only guess that this is the result of a strange experiment on some predatory swarm organism that disguises itself as something harmless and that preys on those it lures close. The commander decides that the best decision would be to carve a path through the room using his blade. The blade makes short work of the stubborn fabric, revealing muscles and sinew hidden underneath. Don Quixote clumsily but desperately hacks at the encroaching mass, like a butcher carving up a carcass. He fights his way through the sea of shuddering flesh toward the exit. 3 doors with different symbols lead from the master bedroom. Commander decides he would rather take his chances behind the one with... I have 2 options, it said 3 doors. Unless it's including the door the way back from where we came. A boiling cauldron. The commander walks into an enormous kitchen. There are massive cauldrons with shiny, polished sides, and a tiny green flame flickers with within a magical oven. The aroma of delicious spices beckons from the countless cupboards and shelves that line the walls. However, as soon as the commander enters the room, the cauldron's lids fly up in the air, blown off in powerful explosions. A nasty grayish-pink slime oozes out of the open cauldrons, swelling up like dough. The slime flows down onto the floor, gathering up into massive clotted clusters, which then begin to crawl towards the commander. Don Quixote has never seen or read about such creatures before. It is reasonable to suggest that this was the outcome of a complicated and perverted magical experiment. This carnivorous slime was captured in a cave, subjected to magical transformation, and fed entirely with brain tissue. The commander decides to burn the monster in the magical oven. Don Quixote quickly uses the magical sigils controlling the oven to turn the small fire inside into a roaring green flame. Don Quixote hides behind it, lures the slime right into into the open oven. The monster fails to perceive the threat of fire and crawls inside, instantly beginning to bubble and boil. In a matter of moments, all that remains of the creature is a suffocating stench that still hangs in the air. After meticulously examining the food on the undisturbed shelves, the commander decides to rest. He takes the opportunity to recuperate and bandage his wounds. It is thinking ahead, rather than rushing forward recklessly, that separates able tacticians from those who rashly press on and perish. 2 doors lead from this kitchen, where it is apparently easier to be eaten than to eat. The commander chooses the one that is marked with the symbol of... well, we've been to the full moon, so a blazing fire. The commander finds himself in a long stone passage. No traps are triggered by his careful steps, yet at the end of the passage, his vision grows blurry. The illusion of safety falls apart like a house of cards, revealing an endless fiery field, ashen mountains, rivers of lava, and magmatic volcanoes. Hot wind scorches his face. It is not difficult to conclude that this deadly place is the elemental plane of fire. Ash and volcanic rock tremble beneath the commander's feet, but walking on it seems safe enough for now. The only escape route is the distant 3-way arch of rough-hewn stone containing the 3 familiar doors. However, in order to reach it, the commander must find a way past the river of fire, which tiny islets of porous stone are just barely visible. The river spews out tongues of roaring flame that land on the banks and crystallize into dark glass. As a result, both banks of the river have become steep, jagged cliffs of obsidian. The commander has nothing left to do but... to get to the other side by jumping from islet to islet. Don Quixote spots several tiny islets in the river of lava and deftly jumps from one to another, avoiding the scorching caress of the boiling magma. He manages to reach the other side of the fiery river and climbs up the steep slope. After reaching the stone portals, the commander has to decide which of the 3 doorways to enter. Eventually he settles on the one with the symbol of... a rod. The door doesn't budge. The commander forces it open with his weight, and enters the same hall where this dangerous expedition first began. The cozy, comfortable setting in no way hints at the nightmares that awaited the commander inside the mansion. The door outside is wide open, and through the doorway, dark figures can be seen clutching weapons. All of this was nothing but a warm-up. Final decisive battle is still to come. The commander prepares for a fight as he steps outside the accursed mansion.
Found evidence.
The leader of this gang of demons is grotesquely disfigured, even by the standards of the Abyss. A disproportionately large and bloated head rests on a tiny, disformed body covered in bumps and furrows, like a shriveled walnut. Okay. What seems at first to be a mane of hair standing up on end is revealed upon closer inspection to be bone needles sticking out from his pale, blistered skin. Where the mouth should be, there is instead a bony plate formed from yellowing teeth that have grown together. Protrudes out from his torn, lacerated lips. His voice appears to come from a slobbering, undulating hole in his neck, just beneath his chin. More bloody larvae showing up at my palace. I'm getting very tired of these visits. What a freak. Even I feel somewhat conflicted. Would killing this creature be an act of cruelty or mercy? I not wish to show mercy to the scum that set me up. Who are you? A snort of derision escapes from the creature's throat. He makes a dismissive gesture with his hand, his dirty nails curling into long, thin spirals. You don't even know who you've decided to challenge. Let these words herald your imminent death, outsider. I am Willodus, the wizard confidant and advisor to the Lady of Shadow. I'm also known as the Vivisector. Gribor smirks, not bothering to hide his contempt. So many words. I'll simply call you a corpse. Less impressive sounding, perhaps, but easy to remember. Why did you turn your house into a trap? I was expecting assassins, and therefore I prepared a warm welcome for such guests. I trust that you appreciated my vivarium. When I'm finished with you, you'll become a new decoration for my palace, and another test for those who follow you. You will be mine. Some of you will be mindless pets, and the more attractive ones, I may use you to meet other needs. The monstrosity giggles lecherously. The sound is shrill and repulsive, like metal against glass. Did you create the monsters I found in the mansion? The demon cackles with glee, and replies scornfully. You call them monsters, silly boy. What can you possibly know about it? Those are masterpieces of vivisection, impossible creations conceived not by nature, but born of my scalpel, needle, and magic. They're crudely and clumsily constructed. You lack creative vision and artistic talent. You may have labored over them, but they look like the work of an amateur, not a true master. How dare you? I will chop you into pieces. I'll cut off your insolent tongue and sew it to your... I'd be interested to see how a truly talented vivisectionist could alter my form. My body is quite valuable. I'm not going to let such high-quality material go to waste in your hands. But you let the surgeon in the arena do it. Okay. That seems a little hypocritical. Also, our pipe fox looks very much like a club right there. He's not wiggling around. So who do you think wants you dead? My enemies are many and dangerous. I could spend an eternity guessing. But there's no need for that. Once I've killed you, I'll soak your warm little brains on my concoctions, read the names of my enemies like tea leaves and their wrinkled patterns. Then I'll have a lovely dinner. There's a greedy, predatory gleam in those tiny eyes, very deep within the folds of wrinkled flesh. Why'd you put a hit out on Darazan and give Greybore a faulty magical weapon? The demon hisses in frustration, spittle flying from the hole in his neck. Nonsense. Why would I want that idiot dead? What possessed him to think that I'm the one who put a hit out on him? And how dare you pathetic amateurs even think that a scheme of mine might possibly fail? If I truly wanted to kill Darazan, he would be long gone. But no, I don't give a darn about anyone from that swarm of locusts. Well, he is long gone. I killed him. I expected such an answer. For some reason, whenever I corner these scoundrels and demand a reckoning, none of them are brave enough to own up to their crimes. And they never go quietly when I slit their throat. What do you think, Greybore? The dwarf shrugs and says thoughtfully, usually I'm quite capable of detecting lies, but this ugly wretch is impossible to read. And why does it matter anyway? Even if he's not lying, we do well to get rid of him. He just tried to kill us in his mansion. Besides, will you ever sleep well knowing this monstrosity is alive somewhere? Your words reek of deceit. The demon's cloudy eyes flare with anger, and his smug giggles give way to a low, menacing growl. Soon we shall find out what your tiny, ridiculous, worm-eaten brain smells like. Kill him. The dwarf grins ominously, and as he looks at the demon, there's no mercy in his eyes. I won't lie, I've been waiting for this moment. Tomorrow morning, my reputation will be spotless once again. Sweet dreams.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
Alright. Good. Smite evil him. Let's see. We're gonna rest after this, so I'll go ahead and pop that. And let's get haste out.
I will resist.
The light take you!
Alright, let's pop slow back here as well.
Simply business.
Let's try this. This will hurt.
Alright, that should be good.
Prepare yourself.
The inheritor, guide my blade
Begone, fiend!
into the fray!
A calculated risk. No.
Where's the law? Projection is that of a tall female demon. Unlike many of her kind, She seems slimmer and less stocky in build. Upon closer examination, you realize that her thinness is caused by extreme emaciation, which makes her look like a withered tree. The skin on her neck and wrist bears the mark of shackles, and her body is covered with flaming seals of Baphomet. Lowering her eyes, the demon addresses you quietly. Allow me to congratulate you. The short work you've made of Willodus proves you are a true professional. I am Horzala, and on behalf of the Assassin's Guild, I congratulate Greyborn on completing this contract. You fulfilled the order we received for Willodus' murder, and therefore you have the right to collect the bounty, even though you're not a guild member yourself. I'm sure you also have many questions about what happened. I doubt our guild is hard to find. There's a notice board at its entrance, where the assassination contracts are posted. Who are you? I am Horzala, Baphomet's daughter. Projection looks you in the eye, and adds an aggrieved whisper. Horzala, not Hepzibah. She's my elder sister, but I doubt you're able to appreciate the true extent of my misfortune. I'm also known in Lucianira as the assistant and right hand of Yaz, the head of the Assassin's Guild. Do you know what happened here? I may know a thing or two, but we should discuss these matters inside the guild, not in public. Who's going to overhear us? The corpses? Why don't you come here and speak to us face to face, instead of projecting an illusion? Are you afraid we won't like your answers, and we'll make you join Willodus? At the sound of the demon's sour expression, Greyborn gives an aggressive snort. We'll pay a visit to the Assassin's Guild soon. Thank you for your answer. The bounty awaits you. I'm not sure what reward awaits us, but I truly hope it's a considerable sum of gold, not a meager payment served up at the end of a blade.
As it should be.
I'm assuming there's going to be another fight, because this fight was a little underwhelming. Granted, we were buffed up prior.
That is not far.
We didn't get anything unique out of it, which is a little odd.
Fall!
I guess it's in the middle city. Seems like a good place for an Assassin's Guild.
I know the way.
We'll take a quick peek, see if we can see it on the map. We couldn't see... I don't remember her name. The Merilith from the Flesh Market's hideout on the map. I don't think. It's possible it won't appear. No, it does show up. Alright, we'll take a quick peek. Back in the lower city as well. I guess I could also look at my quest log. That might tell me. Instead of just running around like this. So it doesn't tell me which part of the city it's in. Actually, you know what? We'll just turn around and go back inside the tavern. It could be in the upper city too. But I'm not sure. No, I might sell the uniques to Woljif instead. Just in case I ever want them again. It's unlikely, but... yeah, I think I'm going to look for the Assassin's Guild off camera. Oops, I didn't mean to sell that one. Well, I don't want to buy it back. I keep forgetting to check to see if this is better than what Sela had equipped. So same armor class, lose spell resistance, but I gain... immunity to acid and fire is really nice. In the first effect, very niche, but that second effect... just having immunities is just a really good idea. That we tend to have my resistance and protection against the elements up all the time, so I'm not really worried about it. It's like Bismuth is running around naked again. Most of this I think I'll just sell to Woljif. Alright, so I'm going to call the episode here, and then off camera I'm going to try and find the Assassin's Guild, because I don't know where it's at. Go ahead and teleport back here. And then we'll pick up, I guess, there, and try and finish Greyboar's quest, and then proceed with the Arena quest line. Which I know for a fact is in the Upper City. So if I can't find the Assassin's Guild, we'll just start with that in the next episode. Alright, so I'm going to call the episode here. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.